Be strong.
Howdy everyone, this is Jim. Welcome back to JimKiDo. So I covered in a previous video talking about inventories and the inventory screen itself. Now we have two containers here, we built them before, and the main thing that I wanted to get across is how these inventories get displayed. So when we come in and actually my crosshairs is on the opening to the device and I hit X. Again, we have cargo container on the right and my local inventory on the left. So when I go and click on the left movement stick, pressing down, or pressing down on the right movement stick, now I've got essentially the same inventories on both sides. You'll notice it's not me. It says all inventories, but it's not really all inventories. It's all inventories to what I've connected to. But it does allow me to, as I showed before, moving objects around. Same thing on this side. What I wanted to show here real quick was how when you have a lot of them, a lot of these containers, then it becomes a bit of a nightmare to manage, to find things. We have these search boxes, and the search boxes, they work a little on the odd side. What we should remember is what it's showing in the box, not in the title of the item, but what's showing in the box as the title. So here we have stone showing in the on the icon as stone, and here we're seeing gravel showing as gravel in the icon. But here we're seeing Fe for iron, but this is iron ingots. Now if I come back up here and look up Fe, it'll show, oh, I think maybe they fixed that. Okay. I'd seen that different before. So if we say, if we come in here, so let's come in here and say ingot. The survival kit spawn is showing. If, oh, so that isn't fixed. So the Fe is not fixed. Fe is showing up for the survival kit, but it did not bring up the small cargo container. Going to move those over. And let's go drill out another section of stone. Now that's another interesting aspect of Space Engineers. When you go back into an inventory like this, it tries to remember the arrangement that you had previously. But to get back to my individual, I have to refilter back to character. I have the right side highlighted. Now I come back over to this side and I move that over. And you can see it's being transitioned out of the small cargo container and moved over to the survival kit. That's fine. That's what it's supposed to do. If I come back in here, I can see it's being processed. I come back up to the search bar and say Fe. Now Fe is being recognized as the ingot, but it's not being recognized for ore. And that is a strange bit of behavior. Now if I say iron, or just say IOR, and it picks them both up again. But if I come back over here and let's go back to FE. Okay, so why didn't it show before? That's interesting. It's almost like it realized its mistake. That was not... I'll have to go back to the video on that. That is odd. Now if I say, what's another one? Okay, so if I say steel, and you don't have to actually spell out the whole thing. It's doing a string comparison to that title there as one of its search points. Oh, I am having a hard time. There we go. That's another piece you gotta be mindful of in survival. When it's creative, you're fine. Doesn't matter whether you're in deep space or anywhere else. You'll be fine. Your stats won't go down because you didn't hook up to a survival kit or a medical station. That's fine. So come back into this and we'll say steel. So it should be picking up on that and that. And just to show that difference, there's a small cargo container. We'll move those out. Let's make sure. Okay. See, it is so weird that it's doing that. Oh, I bet we have to clear it out. There. See, now we have this, and we don't have the other one. The other one is not showing now. But it's caching the result. So even if you come in here and then don't change anything, whatever that result was, it stays that way. So if we say that, and it's not changing. So that cached the result. It's just an odd behavior of how some of this filters out and works. But this system here is a really necessary part because we don't have... Now you could use a mouse and keyboard on this. I am not using one at the moment. Same thing goes for here. If I want just the batteries to show, and this is super important from a grouping standpoint, now I can if I hold down the left bumper and then click down on the direction key, I can then go and select both of these and group them and say, let's say battery bank. And save. Now if I come into here, let's see, we have very little power actually coming because the sun is moved back behind the base. Yeah, it's starting to move back beyond the base of the asteroid. So if I come into here, I can now turn off the battery banks. There's not enough power hitting those to actually, so there's no power hitting those now. And now the entire site, the entire grid, everything that's associated with this platform is now turned off. There's not enough power. The batteries have been turned off. And that's what that looks like. But if I come in here and toggle them back on, now we're back up. So that's just another way in which to maneuver around both the inventory system as well as the control panel system than the user interface. So I hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hit the like button if you found it useful, and definitely hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I try and put these kinds of videos out every few days or so, just trying to cover the basics. Meanwhile, everyone, stay safe.